Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. There is a new Club de Nuit, and it's this one right here. Club de Nuit Maleka. Yeah. It means queen in Arabic, as you can tell by my pristine pronunciation. Club de Nuit
Maleka.
I'm just playing. It's not that hard to say, I promise. But yeah, this is the newest Club de Nuit fragrance. The question is it wearable for most guys? Or is it a fragrance that's gonna smell absolutely fantastic on mainly the ladies? And that's what we're gonna get into today. We're gonna break this one down, talk about the fragrance and whether or not it's something you should check out or not. Now, I picked mine up at fragrancebuy.ca, just a little touch over 40 bucks. So I'll have this one linked in the description below. Feel free to check it out down there. Let's begin by taking a look at the presentation. So here we have the front of the box. Actually looks really nice. I like the aesthetic here. It's got this kind of like watercolor purple with smatterings of marbled gold. I guess that's how I'd describe it. Also has like a little raised section up there in the corner where your crystal is glued onto the box, this little golden orb. So you have the name of the fragrance on the front there, the size and concentration, 105 ml eau de parfum, says Club de Nuit on the side, Armaf up top. On the back, your ingredients and also your sticker of authenticity. On the bottom, your badge code and your barcode. My bottle was created April of 2025. And here we have the bottle. I do like the color scheme here, kind of like a frozen purple with gold. You have the name of the fragrance on the front, as usual, your little medallion stuck onto the bottle with your little crystal as well. Your cap is crystallized, also blinged out. You have Club de Nuit on the side of the bottle in gold, and then on the bottom, your sticker and your batch code. And you know what time it is. It is time to spray the bottle. So here we go. Now there's something interesting with this fragrance release, and that is it's not supposed to be a direct clone of anything. In fact, the perfumer is Olivier Cresp. He is quite well known. If you don't know the name, if you don't know the face for some reason, you probably know some of the fragrances that he's done. Now, this is something that's been happening a little bit behind the scenes, I think, with Middle Eastern brands where they've worked with big name perfumers, but they don't always put their name on stuff. But here, especially lately, it's becoming more common for like Armaf, Latafa, brands like that to work with a big name perfumer on an original release and then go ahead and drop it out there. Whether it's in a really big established line like this one with Club de Nuit, or it's something that's like its own line onto itself. So it would not surprise me if this is something that we see more and more and more and more often, which does present more of a potential issue for niche and designer brands out there if you have Middle Eastern houses that are releasing fragrances that are originals done with the same perfumers that are working with designer houses and niche houses, only they're releasing them for like 40 bucks. You can see where that could be an issue for some different brands out there. But none of that matters if the originals suck. So there is also that. Now, in terms of the note breakdown, this one is not hyper complex or anything. It has lychee off the top with bergamot and pink pepper, iris in the mid, praline, sandalwood, ambroxan as it dries. Now, when it comes to men's fragrances and unisex fragrances for the most part, I have a lot of stuff that I've smelled over the years that I can draw from. When it comes to women's fragrances, I have pretty much what my wife wears. And the big ones out there, I know most of those. That being said, to me, it does not really smell like a one-to-one with anything else out there. It is kind of doing its own thing, but do take that with a little pinch of salt. Now, how does it smell? Is it unisex? Does it lean feminine? Is it completely feminine? What's the deal? Well, first things first, I guess. For a lot of people out there, especially as time goes on, it becomes more popular. A lot of people don't see fragrances having a gender at all, which, I mean, it doesn't really. It's a fragrance at the end of the day, right? But you have a lot of people who will say, I wear whatever I want. Doesn't matter. If it's marketed towards women, I don't care. If I like it, I'll wear it. And vice versa as well. But you do also have, of course, a ton of people out there who are gonna smell a fragrance and be like, this smells really feminine to me. I would not wear it. So how does this one come across? Well, if you are the type who puts fragrances into like feminine, unisex, masculine, I would say it definitely leans feminine, which makes sense. It is named Club de Nuit Queen, essentially, and is marketed toward women. So yeah, off the top, really feminine, sweet, fresh, fruity, a little powdery. The lychee comes through clearly. You can pick it up right away. And lychee most of the time is a fragrance note that's gonna be used in more feminine fragrances, so that makes sense. So yeah, fresh, sweet, powdery, a little bit tangy when you first spray it on, almost like a touch of vanilla underneath, even though that's not an official note in here, a little bit creamy, as well. And that could be contributed to the iris that's in here as well. But when you first spray this on, absolutely, it comes across like a woman's fragrance. It does have good quality. It could be potentially a little too sweet if you spray it on really heavy and it's like middle of summer or something like that. And it does have like a little zest in there as well when you first spray it on. Now, as it starts to dry down, it does start to lean a little bit closer to being potentially a unisex type of scent, but you have to pretty much wait for the full dry down to get to that point. And when it does get to the full dry down, it's more so just a light, creamy woodiness with that bit of praline that lingers into the dry down. It's not like a really heavy praline. It doesn't become to me a full unisex fragrance, even into the far dry down, just a little bit more so than when you first spray it on. But the dry down does have this nice, like sexy mix of sweet and at the same time, lightly fresh aspects. Not what I would say as a soapy kind of feeling, just that praline gives you like a hint of sweet softness from the praline, like maybe a little touch of an ambery kind of feel. And it does smell on my wife really, really good. I like the dry down a bit more because it does very lightly warm up a little bit with that sweetness kind of toning down off the top, that lychee toning down a little bit. And as the other notes come out, it kind of gives it more of a fullness, more of a richness that I appreciate a little bit more. The staying power is solid. It sticks for a while like you would expect from a Club de Nuit fragrance. It projects pretty well as well. Like I said, if it's like middle of summer, I wouldn't go really heavy with this thing, guy or girl, just because it's gonna be a little bit much. Like when it's real hot out, really humid, that lychee is sweet. It's sticky, a little sugary sweet, and you've got that mixing together with the iris, like I said, a touch of powder, a little creamy, all that combining together when it's really warm outside. For me, I don't think it would smell all that great. I think spring, fall, winter, you'd be good. And even during summer, actually, you can be good with this. It's just, don't go crazy heavy, okay? That's all I'm saying. If it's in the evening, you could probably get away with it a little bit more. You know, not quite as humid, not quite as hot, well, depending on where you are. And speaking about that, evening use, I think it actually works a little better during the evening than during the day. Obviously, you can wear it during either whenever you want to at the end of the day, but it does have a really nice kind of transition as it dries down that would work perfectly on a night out. I mean, really, the dry down, I think, smells great. I like that a lot. Mainly on my wife, but I think it smells great. And the opening, as long as you dig the lychee, is gonna smell great as well. It's just as it dries down, that warmth, that creaminess with the touch of freshness comes across kind of velvety, smooth, really appealing. That's the best part of the scent. So at the end of the day, the new Club de Nuit, is it really what most people would consider unisex? I don't think so. But to be fair, they are not presenting it that way, so we shouldn't really interpret it that way either. They named it Queen, they're advertising it towards women, and that's what it is. It's an appealing, original woman's fragrance that's pretty cheap, all things considered. Well, actually, at retail, really cheap. That does have good wearability, good versatility, that as it dries down starts to smell almost edible. Not overly gourmand, just the type of scent that you really, yeah, it smells good. Hopefully, they come out with a men's fragrance that is an original, because I know we love ourselves some Aventus, right? I mean, it's the best-selling men's niche fragrance, all that stuff, we all know. But there are a lot of Club de Nuit Intense Man releases that are plays on Aventus, right? I would like an original one for men, done with a master perfumer that has great wearability, that is not directly copying something else that you can pick up for like 40 bucks, especially now with designer fragrances and niche fragrances getting more pricey than ever at retail. Like, I really, really do want that. Like, give us some good quality original releases done with a perfumer at that price point. I think a lot of people would be hyped. But for the ladies, they've got this one, so there's their first one, I guess. Hopefully many more to come. And if you're comfortable wearing fragrances that do have a more traditional lean towards feminine or whatever, then absolutely check it out. For the price point, good quality, good performance, all that stuff. Am I gonna wear it? No. No. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't if you enjoy it. So there we go. That is the new Club de Nuit. Like I said, fragrance by about 40 bucks, 42, I think. And of course that could fluctuate up or down as time goes on. That's how it always goes with these. So in the future, I'm sure it'll be a little bit less. For that price, pretty good deal. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.